Hi, it's me, Olivia. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel for interesting stories and visit my Patreon page for early access, link in the description. Thanks. Ms. Winters sat there quietly absorbing the abuse, allowing Janice to vent her anger. At a knock on the door, she said, "Come in, Nancy." To Janice, she said gently, "Tea's here. Do you like lemon, honey, or straight?" As Nancy entered the room, carrying a tray with a blue Limoges porcelain teapot, matching cups, and various containers, a very distraught look came over Janice's face as she realized what she was doing and, moreover, where. She was well aware of Ms. Winters' position on the board of city managers. Finally, she managed to get out, "What? Oh, honey and lemons, all right. Good. There we are in agreement," Catherine said. "I'd like you to meet my daughters, Nancy, 15, serving the tea, and Nicole, 13, Nikki for short." Janice managed a smile and a nod to each of the girls, saying, "They both are very pretty." Nancy set one cup in front of Janice and a second cup in front of Catherine. She then filled each cup from the teapot, added a squirt of lemon, a dollop of honey, and stirred. Then she directed a tear-stained Alan to a seat in front of Catherine, taking up a position directly behind him. Catherine gave Nikki the sheet from the legal pad, telling her, "Get these items ready for our reluctant guest, sweetheart." Nikki smiled as she thought of the fun and quickly left the room. She had an idea where all the items could be located in a hurry. Before sitting down, a crying Alan ran to his mother and hugged her tightly, saying, "Oh, Mama, I've let you down. I just wanted a friend, and now I'm in a lot of trouble because of them. Please, I don't want to go to jail." "Them? Who do you mean by them, Alan?" Janice inquired. Catherine answered for Alan, "John Clark and Bobby Walsh, two troublemakers. Master Clark called to tell me your son was in my house." Janice muttered a few scatological epithets that would have gotten her a soap mouthwash. As Alan sat, Janice started crying too. She started, "I must apologize, Ms. Winters. I'm so sorry for what my son did. Moving away from friends, people we've known for years, was very hard on both of us, and then a new house, neighbors, running around to get utility connections, school registration, all those little nuisances of everyday living you need to change. While I was out hunting for a new job, Alan's been on his own much of the time, and then she trailed off. So, his getting in trouble, you blame yourself. You feel you should have been there for him. As I see it, you're mad at yourself right now and can't make a good decision." So, Catherine replied, "How about letting Alan choose? He's only a little boy. MOLM. I'm 14. I can make my own decision. You don't understand. They want to make you into a girl." While Janice sipped her tea, Catherine stated sharply, "Alan, hear me out. I can call the police and have you arrested. I don't want to do that. You could go to military school to learn discipline, and you don't want that. What I propose is this, straight up with you, petticoating." She watched his look change to one of puzzlement as she continued, "Your mother has a paper she has yet to sign. It will give me control over you for 1 month. During that time, you will do as I, or my daughters, tell you, and when you are told, not a minute or 2 seconds later. Understand?" "Yes, ma'am," Alan replied quickly. "You will be well treated and chastised, i.e. spanked or punished in another way, when you do something bad or not approved of." Catherine watched as the boy nodded in understanding before continuing, "You will wear the clothes selected for you, specifically, female clothing of varying ages." At that, Alan furrowed his brow. "Varying ages? What do you mean?" "Clothes ranging from those of a baby girl to a teenage girl. Act grown up, and you'll be dressed accordingly. Act like a baby, and you'll be treated as one, fed and dressed to match. And this includes everything, underwear, stockings, shoes, and coats when we go out. And you won't sue my mom? You won't do anything to her, right?" "I can't promise that absolutely," Catherine admitted. "But I will do my best to ensure you receive the most lenient sentence possible." As the women enjoyed their tea, Alan's mind was a whirlwind of thoughts. Prison would take him away. A fine could hurt Mom's job prospects. Military school? No way. Wearing girls' clothes? Just for a month. 1/12 of a year. If it would help Mom. Turning to his mother, Alan spoke with a newfound resolve. Mama, I got myself into this, and I'm prepared to face the consequences. Please sign. Janice hesitated, sadness clouding her eyes. She felt like she was losing her little man to something unknown. But with great reluctance, she picked up the papers and signed on the marked lines. Come on, sweetie, Nancy said gently. Alan stood, gave his mother a tight hug, and followed Nancy toward his uncertain future. As he glanced back, he saw Ms. Winters placing the signed papers in a wall safe. Then, he heard her say, while the girls take care of your son, let me show you around the house and grounds. Upstairs, Alan was led to a room at the end of a carpeted hall. It looked similar to the first one he had entered, except for the large display case filled with dolls, a canopied bed with satin sheets and dust ruffles, and a vanity. The walls were a muted pastel blue, and a bay window featured a cozy, pillow-covered seat. To the left, an open door led to a bathroom. Nancy guided him toward the bed and sat him down. Alan, this will be your room while you're here. Now, repeat after me. It's a very pretty room, with a lovely bed and lots of adorable dolls. Alan hesitated, then mumbled, it's a pretty room with a nice bed and many dolls. Just then, Nikki entered, carrying 2 shopping bags. Found them, she announced, dragging them to the bed and eagerly pulling out the contents. Nancy frowned. No, Alan dear. Say it again, and don't fight me. It's a very pretty room, with a lovely bed and lots of adorable dolls. You'll need to get used to words like adorable, lovely, huggable, luscious, and scrumptious. Watching as Nikki placed odd items on the bed, Alan sighed and repeated the phrase over and over. Come on, Alan, time for your bath. Nancy announced with a grin. Think of this can be a challenge, a chance, or a change, but not a choice. How you handle this is up to you, sweetheart. But I already took a bath, Alan protested. Not a bubble bath. Now, into the bathroom, let's go. As they entered, Alan noticed a large walk-in closet to his right. What's in there? He asked. Nancy smirked. Oh, towels, sheets, pillowcases, washcloths, and also dresses, slips, drawers of panties, training bras, shoes, and other items. I think most of them are in your size. Gosh, I hope not. Alan muttered. Then he asked, but how do you know my size? Some things belong to Nikki, you're about her size. Some were Irene's, our cousin, when she was Nikki's size 2 years ago. And some used to be mine before I outgrew them. Nancy turned on the bath water, adjusting it to the perfect warmth before adding bath oils, salts, and perfumes. Within seconds, a floral aroma filled the room. Alan wrinkled his nose at the overpowering scent, but reluctantly admitted to himself that he did like flowers. He dipped his fingers in the water. It was warm and inviting. If I'm going to take a bath, a little privacy would be nice, Alan stated. No, Alan, Nancy replied firmly. Sit on the toilet seat, and I'll undress you. She stepped into the hallway and called out, Nikki, could you bring a paper bag for Alan's clothes? Thanks. Remembering Ms. Winters' warning about following instructions, Alan sat. Nikki returned with the bag just as Nancy removed Alan's shoes. Socks followed, then pants, shirt, and t-shirt. Alan was left in his shorts. Since you've been cooperative, Alan, Nancy said, we'll step out. Just put your shorts in the bag and get into the tub. Call me when you're ready, and I'll help you wash and dry. How about, next December? Alan quipped, trying to lighten the moment. Nancy grinned. Oh, you, she teased before leaving. Alan sighed, removed his shorts, placed them in the bag, and stepped into the warm, fragrant bath. He sank into the water with a quiet sigh. This isn't bad at all. Smells nice, too. Nancy, I'm ready, Alan finally called out. Nikki entered first, carrying a bottle of liquid soap, another bottle of pink liquid, and a strange-looking sponge. Nancy followed, her arms filled with towels. She placed a cushion on the floor and knelt beside the tub. Lean forward, and I'll start on Snookum's back, she said playfully. I am not your Snookums. I'm a man. Nikki giggled. Yep, you're a man. All right, she teased. You're 14, Alan. We need a new name for Snooky Wookie here, Nancy. Right. I can't recall any girl named Alan, Nancy mused. Since he's a new girl, how about Eve? Alan frowned at the babyish talk. He didn't want to be here, but the bath was undeniably pleasant. The girls were being nice, even playful. And considering what he had done to them, he knew he had no right to complain. He had broken into their home, tried to steal something personal, all for his own selfish reasons. Eve sounds nice, Alan admitted. Kinda like the biblical first woman, huh? Nancy smiled. Eve was a new woman, just like you. Can I ask you something, ma'am? Alan said hesitantly. Nancy or Nan, dear heart. What is it? She replied warmly. Nancy, what are you going to do to me? Stand up so I can wash your legs, and I'll tell you, sweetie. Alan hesitated. Standing up would leave him completely exposed to these girls, both close to his age. But he had agreed to this. With Nancy's encouraging smile, he got to his feet. Nikki, grinning, took a long look at him before disappearing out the door with his discarded clothes. Strangely, he felt no real sense of loss, as if there was nothing left to lose. Nancy began, if you were starving and I gave you a sandwich, would I be doing something for you or to you? For me, of course. Right, she responded immediately. Confused, Alan allowed Nancy to help him out of the tub. She took a large towel and gently patted him dry from head to toe. Opening a bottle, she said, this will keep your skin soft and hydrated, as she squeezed a generous amount of pink liquid onto her hands and began massaging it into his skin. Feeling her hands glide over every part of him, Alan asked, what's in that? Aloe, honey, coconut oil, cocoa butter, vitamin E, and some mineral oils, mostly. Once she finished, Alan stood up, now wrapped in a towel, chest high, of course, with a pair of bath clogs on his feet. He was led to his bedroom. Upon seeing what lay on the bed, a rush of emotions hit him, panic, resignation, curiosity. His body urged him to bolt for the door, stark naked. His mind said otherwise, and his feelings were a whirlwind. Okay, dear, up on the bed, face down, so we can rub the baby oil on you, Nikki instructed. With reluctant compliance, Alan lay down on the rubberized sheet. Giggling, Nikki teased, okay, snookums. First, we'll put baby oil on you to prevent diaper rash. You don't want that, believe me. Then, baby powder. And after that, Nancy wants to dust you with a nice lilac-scented powder. Won't that be lovely, my little doll? Yeah, great, Alan muttered. You know, Evie, you really have a nice tush, Nikki remarked with amusement. Please subscribe for the next part and visit my Patreon page for early access. Thanks.